Caron Butler, who played for multiple teams in the NBA.
What up?
And I'm told has a couple of stories on his own. That was the most fascinating bite. So you bounced around this league. Was there an organization where there was dysfunction?
Absolutely. I played with so many teams you touched on. I played on 9 NBA teams.
9 NBA teams?
Yes.
I want to hear about, okay, give me the dysfunction. We'll start with the dysfunction.
A lot of it comes with preparation, right? So you immediately when you go into a locker room, you see the expectations or if it's a championship pedigree organization. And I played with organizations like I started with the Miami Heat. So the godfather of the game, Pat Riley.
Classy,
everything professional on, off the court, preparation, meal prep.
Meal prep?
Yeah, everything. Talking about having a shelf in the locker room, talking about what you put in your body, protecting your temple, so you could have a longevity in the space.
Certainly.
So that was important. And then I go to the Los Angeles Lakers, which is the same thing because they're the cream of the crop. It's all about championships. And when I go to Washington, it scaled down a little bit.
Sure.
But you bring that culture of what you had in Miami and the Lakers to Washington.
But Washington hasn't had a history of winning, so it wasn't quite Pat Riley or the Lakers.
Yeah, it wasn't that, but they was willing to adjust, like having the proper family room for your family to have the great environment because, happy wife, happy life, happy family is easy, it's less pressure on you. So buying into that culture and trying to enhance the athlete.
There you go.
So you can win out there so you're just not worrying about the other things. So that was huge.
And then there were the Clippers.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
That was different. So so they was the JV team of Los Angeles. They've been like that for years, and it's probably going to go back to that now with LeBron going to play for the Lakers. So they would practice or have their locker room and all their stuff at LA Fitness. They didn't have their own facility. And at some point, they ended up putting the facility up in Culver City. That was the second time around when myself, Chris Paul, Lob City, all that stuff created. But before, they didn't have that. So the culture for the Clippers wasn't a winning culture for years, And I think the most success that they had, you take Chris Paul's success out of it in his era and Blake Griffin, is when Elton Brand and Corey Maggette and those guys were together. And I think that was the first round in the playoff exit.
LA Fitness at a gym?
True story.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
Yeah, a little. Let me ask you about Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, yeah.
Kawhi Leonard is doing something I really like. Now, fans in San Antonio are ticked. But if he's successful, it's going to change this league. He comes out with a year left and says, I will play for the Lakers. By making it public through his people, what general manager is going to give away anything to rent him for a year? I'm not giving up elite players and draft picks knowing he's kind of a different cat to begin with, and he wants to be a Laker. I believe this is a player empowerment move by Kawhi and his people that's very cunning, very smart. And if it works, the guys like Ben Simmons in 2 years, I'm going to be a blank. If you make it public, who's going to trade for him? Where do you think he ends up?
In a situation where, look, he might just end up in a rental situation. There's a lot of dumb front office people out there. I hate to say it, but it's a lot of people out there that
don't know what they're doing.
That do not know what they're doing. They're trying to move the needle from an analytical standpoint, and that's not the wave. I mean, it is, but it isn't. You have to have a pulse of what the talent is and what the NBA is, and can you sell someone on wanting to stay with an organization? And you saw that with the DeMarcus Cousins case. Everybody's going like, oh, how did DeMarcus go to the Warriors? Nobody made him an offer. No one wanted to invest in what they perceived as damaged goods, just like the Isaiah Thomas situation. Now, if he comes back healthy, Denver, Tim Conley, those guys, they look like geniuses.
Right.
But right now, nobody want to invest in the situation. So Kawhi is going to land on his feet no matter what he does. If I'm him, if he want to be a Laker, put it out there.
By the way, I was saying earlier today, happiness is based on expectations. If you'd have told me 16 years in, LeBron would still be the best player in the game, have 3 titles with 2 teams, and moving to the Lakers. I would have bought that 16, 17 years ago. Just the over-unders on wins have come out. How do you think the team is? Just give me basketball talk. How will the Lakers be with him in year 1? I'm not talking year 4. This group right now, currently.
They're going to be better. I bumped into Kyle Kuzma coming back from Vegas.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he's so dialed in to this season. And I think he's going to be the player, I hope he be the player that benefits the most from LeBron arriving to Los Angeles because he could catch and shoot. He's self-motivated. And with a guy like LeBron in that locker room, he's going to be a better version of himself going forward. Young, athletic, two-way player. But Brandon Ingram, they're going to be better. They're going to be a playoff team. Immediately. They're a playoff team. They're a plus 15 win team. LeBron is the favorite to receive the MVP next season because he's going to be the headline in the story all season long. He get them to the playoffs, 5, 6 seed, haven't been a void for like the last 5 years since the Dwight Howard and the Kobe Bryant Achilles injury. So they go to the playoffs. He's the MVP.
Here's the over-unders by sportsbook.ag. I don't think the Warriors win 66. I think they rest starters. It's closer to 60. I think the Celtics do want home court advantage in the finals. I think they'll get closer to 60-65. Rockets, Sixers, about where they'll be. I'd go under on the Lakers. I do think, never forget the first 17 games in Miami with D-Wade and Bosh. They were 7-9. They were ugly for the first month and a half in Cleveland with Kyrie and LeBron. I'd take the under on 50.5 wins for the Lakers. 47, 48. What do you think?
The only thing is, I would say 48-52, but who's the other future Hall of Famer on the team? Because with Miami, with LeBron James and with
veterans.
D-Wade, yeah, you got veteran guys, but all they care about is winning. They want to preserve their career. And how do you preserve your career? Make LeBron happy. If you make LeBron happy, you're a pleasure to play with. He can move the needle where you're going to have longevity in this space. Another 2-3 years added onto your career. Probably when you should be sitting on the couch doing what I'm doing with you right now.
Yeah.
So he can make that happen. So if you're in that situation, you don't have the master egos that you have to deal with. Rondo's a better version of himself, high IQ player, and all the other guys are young guys. You know, they're just happy to be playing alongside LeBron, so you don't have to deal with all those egos, future Hall of Famers, things like that. Guys just ready to play, fill their role, and maximize their potential.
Caron Butler, good stuff. Yeah, put the over-unders up there. I kind of pretty much buy all of them. I actually think the Lakers are a little high and the Celtics are a little low. I do think Boston says, I would love to open the series and close it against the Warriors in Boston. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.